In this video, I will go through some things that I would do if I were building lessons for the week and kind of how to work with this weekly folder that you've pulled in. So when you open it up, you can go in and I like to edit the announcement for the week. And this is one of those things that you could also have so that it displays in line. I think good things to include in the announcement for the week are kind of like an agenda of things that may be due that week. So here I've just added maybe, a few highlights for each day of the week. This gives our parents who will have view only access to your classroom an idea of what it is students are working on that week. And then it gives the students a big picture view of things as well. So when I save changes, what that does when I have it displayed in line is it automatically appears for the students there. And you'll notice I only have Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday here because those are the only days that I will be using Schoology assignments with my students. So I'll go ahead and open up one of the folders here. And you can see all I have in here is read, watch, and do. I took out the listen because I don't have a listening activity for my students for that day. And I'll show you how to do that. So I opened another day, for instance, and you can see it still has all of the buttons in it. Of course, we want to make sure the home button is linked to our materials page for that class. So remember to do that. You just go click on the button, go to link, and make sure it's linked there. So this main sandbox page is the link we want to put in for the home button. But let's say I'm not going to do a listening activity. I would go in and delete the icon, and then I can also delete that particular row. And then I'm ready to build. Just want to show you a bit about your breadcrumbs again. We can kind of see where everything is here. So we'll go in and we'll edit Monday's work. So one of the things that we could do, of course, to edit, you have to go to your cog wheel and click edit. So maybe you're going to have the students read a certain assignment. So here I'll show you what I like to do with a PDF. So I have this PDF, found it on the internet. Of course, it's in the common domain. So I'm going to go ahead and download that, and it will save in my downloads. So what I like to do here, so I have downloaded a copy of the Scarlet Ibis, and I like to go ahead and add that to my Google Drive because it makes pulling things in way easier. So I can see it here, and I'm just going to pull that into my Google Drive. So there it is. It's ready to go. So then on my page, if I go to insert content, I can go to the Google Drive resource app, and it'll be here in just a minute. I know it's in this folder, and here is the PDF I want to pull in. I can either import it as, an embed or a private link. I'll go ahead and do embed. We'll go ahead and save changes and see how that looks. It may take up a bit of space. The students can still scroll within the document. You can see where they can open it up here. If I want that to be a little bit bigger, what I would probably do is go into the HTML code, and I'm looking for the width and height. And it's probably this one because it's saying 560, and I know my button's width is 100. So I'm going to go in and we'll just make it, I don't know, let's make it 750 by 500. They'll still have to scroll in it, but it does make it a little bit bigger. And they can still click on the button to open that up. So there's something they read. Maybe I also have something they can watch. Remember, I have to get back into edit to do that. So I'm in my edit mode here. I go to my insert content button, and I have a YouTube video. I paste in the link for that. and I can import it as embed, and it will then be on the very same page for students. Go ahead and save my changes and see how the size looks. I mean, that's okay. I probably want it the same width as the deal above me, so I'll go in and adjust the width of it. So I go into my HTML code, and I like to use Control F, and I can tell my hundreds are the icons. And I know the first one was the PDF that I imported. So I'm going to kind of make that the width of YouTube. And I even see that that's the YouTube video here. So we can make it maybe 750 by 500. See how that looks. It may be too big and we can adjust it if we don't like it. But there it is. Big video for students to see. And then something for them to do. So I'm going to make a quick assessment and then I'll pull it in and show you how I would pull it in here. So I can go to add materials, add an assessment, and I'll do 2 quick questions. So we'll call this the Scarlet IBIS exit ticket. And I'm going to enable submissions, and we'll say this is due Friday. Midnight is fine. And we'll say I do want to grade it, ungrade it, either way. And we'll call this exit ticket. Eventually, when we get things into Skyward, we'll want the category to match what is in Skyward, but we're not quite there yet. So I'll go ahead and create. You would have any instructions you have here. I'm going to go to my questions, and I'm going to do some simple multiple choice questions from something I've probably already used before. So I'm simply copying and pasting my pre-made questions in here. These are pretty easy. So I have my question typed and it only has 3 choices. So I'm going to get rid of that one. And then I tell it my answer. Save it. And then I can add in another question. Okay, so I have my exit ticket created here, and I'm going to go back to the page. And what I like to do is you'll notice it's down here at the bottom. I like to right click on that and copy the link address. A couple of things I actually like to do. One of the things I like to do is I like to get my snipping tool, and I am going to take a picture of this, and all right, I do have to save it from the snip, which is fine. I can sure do that. So I'm going to save it. Just save it KC for knowledge check. So what I'll do then is I can give, some directions. Complete the exit ticket. And so you can do a couple of things here. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to insert content, the image media. I'll attach the file. If you'll remember, I called it KC for knowledge check. It's probably in my pictures. Here it is. I'm going to get rid of some of this spacing. So I like to do a couple of things. One of the things I like to do is make this text a little bit bigger. I like 16-point font. And then I want to make it obvious for students to click on things. So I'm going to make this both red for the text font, and I'll make it yellow as well. So it kind of stands out a little bit as something students can click on. So what we'll do, I'm going to go ahead and save my changes for just a moment because I want to make sure I have the hyperlink for that. So I'm right clicking on my actual exit ticket down there, copying the link address. Now I'm going to go back into my page and edit. So I'm going to hyperlink 2 things here. I'm going to highlight the text exit ticket. I'll go ahead and make that bold because I really want it to stand out. Then I go to my link button. I paste in a hyperlink so that they can get to the exit ticket. And then another thing I want to do, oh, it took my formatting off. So I'm going to go in and I want that text red with a yellow highlight. I want it to stand out to my kiddos. Another thing I'm going to do is that image that I brought in, I'm going to just move it over a little bit. And then same thing, I'm clicking the link button, pasting it in. So I'm giving my students multiple places so that they can find my assignment. Even on this exit ticket, took the bolding off, so I'm going to bold that again. Save changes, and then there's my daily lesson. There's something students can read, something they can watch, and then something they can do.